Hey everyone, Mr. Ann is back here again. This is Quadratics video number 12, or XII in Roman numerals. After all, this was Super Bowl week. So today's lesson is, when you have Marshawn Lynch and it's first and one at the goal line, run the ball. No, I'm just kidding. Today's lesson is actually solving quadratic equations with the quadratic formula. So those of you that remember Algebra 1 should remember this, or at least remember that this existed. There are some songs attached to it. Maybe I'll sing to it, maybe I won't. We'll find out. Here's the first example I want to show you. So here's my equation, x squared plus 3x equals 5. Hopefully by now you know the first step you want to do. You want to get everything on the same side. So I want to subtract 5 from both sides. This way I have this second step, or second line of the equation, x squared plus 3x still, but then minus 5 equals 0. Right, for the factoring method, the graphing method, and this method, you want everything on the same side equal to 0. Check. Now I can move on. So first off, if I could factor it, it'd be better. It'd be awesome. But can this factor? Can I add to 3 with two numbers and also multiply -5? Tick, tock, tick, tock. Anything? Anything? No? It's because you can't. It's not possible to take two whole numbers and add the 3 and still multiply to -5. So it can't factor. That does not mean there's no solution. There are solutions here. But it's just they're not going to be whole numbers, and we'll have to try something else. You could graph it like the last video, or you could do this. So for any quadratic equation that looks like this, so ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, so basically standard form, which this one right here is in. A is 1, B is 3, C is -5. Then your answers are simply the results of the quadratic formula. You guys remember there's a song about this that you may have been saying. Maybe I'll sing it later, but I probably won't. I just don't do that. So again, so here's the formula how you read out loud. X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I'll read that again. X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And I'll read it again. X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You should know how to read that. Make sure you can read that out loud if I ever ask you to. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll find out later on. So, back to this. I'm just going to use that formula again. So, I'll write it one more time. So x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. I would try your best to memorize this, folks, or at least take good notes on it. I've done this for so long now, it's stuck in my head forever. I can never get rid of it. So since a is 1, b is 3, and c is -5, I'm going to use those here. So x equals -3, -b, right? Plus or minus the square root. B squared, 3 squared is 9, minus 4. A is 1, so 4 times 1. C is -5 times -5. Put that in parentheses so I don't mess up. And then all over 2a, so all over 2 times 1. So now let's put it together here. So x equals -3 plus or minus the square root of 9 plus 20, because -4 or minus 4 times -5, that's a positive 20, all over 2. So go again. X equals -3 plus or minus the square root of 29, all over 2. So this root 29, I can't break this down any further, unfortunately. Just can't do it. So I'm kind of stuck here. If you gave me this for an answer, that'd be fine. If you want it in decimals, you can just type in these two answers, right? The plus and the minus. So the plus answer is -3 plus root 29, and all of that divided by 2. Or you can do the minus answer, -3 minus root 29, find all of that, then divide that by 2. Don't type it in all at once. Either put this in parentheses or do that as one line in your calculator, press enter, and then divide that answer by 2. Either way is fine. Same thing over here. So when you do that with your decimals and you just type it in, these are about the answers you get. So this little squiggly, again, that means about when there's 2 of them. So it's about 1.19. I rounded both of these, or negative 4.19 over here on the right side. So these are about your 2 answers. And again, this is also okay for me, but if you want decimals because they make more sense to you, I think they do, then these are your answers here. So let's look at one more example. So here's my next example, x squared minus 4x minus 8 equals 0. I've already got the 0 part by itself, as in, everything's on the other side, check. We move on now. So, here a is 1, b is negative 4, and c is negative 8. So let's do this. So the first part of the quadratic equation, negative b, so negative 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 4 squared, minus 4 times a, that's 1, times c, that's negative 8, close parenthesis, all over 2 times 1, 2a. Let's keep going. So x equals, erase that nonsense, 4 plus or minus, negative 4 squared is positive 16, because it's negative 4 times negative 4. So then over here you have minus 4 times minus 8, that's a plus 32. Don't get fooled by the negatives, all over 2. We can keep going yet. X equals positive 4 plus or minus root 48 over 2. I want to reduce this, so let's take that root 48 over here and kind of just break it down a little bit. So 48 can become, let's do root 24 and root 2. So then root 24 can go root 12 and root 2. And then 12 can go root 3 and root 4. So right here, that's 2. And right here, it's also 2. And then this little guy here is left over. So then what I have now when I rewrite this is x equals 4 plus or minus. So I have these 2's, both of them. So 2 times 2 is 4, root 3. So root 48 becomes 4 root 3 over 2. So I'm basically done. I can reduce this one more time though, because all 3 of these numbers are even. You may have heard the phrase Mickey Mouse canceling. Because you have that plus or minus sign here, you can't just cancel these 2 or those 2. Both of these have to reduce by the same thing as this. So all of these reduce. So my best final answer is x equals 2 plus or minus 2 root 3 over 1, because I reduced that 2 down. Now that 1, I can just get rid of that because divide by 1, same thing. So here are both your answers. If you want to type them in to find your decimal answers, you can do that too. But there you go. So what I'm going to do, guys, because I'm not one to sing, what I will do is the video is basically over now. You can stop if you want. But I'm going to leave you guys with some quadratic formula songs playing in the background for the next few minutes so I can kind of, just get this deeply ingrained to your brain. So you may stop the video now or just keep listening. See you later.
B squared minus the quadratic formula's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Quadratic formula is a breeze. Identify A, B, and C. And you gotta plug them into the formula begin by setting it up. Here's how it goes. F equals B to B. Plus or minus the square root of B squared plus 4AC. All over 2A. Now you know the way to multitask with an A.